Hi, this is Chris, the Dating Doc, and I'm going to do a review on Facebook dating. Yes, Facebook has rolled out its own dating platform. Imagine that. Whether this is to counter the popularity of Tinder, whether this is to provide a better experience for Facebook users, I'm going to go into the pros and cons and if you should or should not use Facebook dating. Now, the setup for Facebook dating is it's pretty simple and laid out, which I like that. There's no need to be confusing, and there's no gimmick. You pretty much just hit the heart icon on your Facebook app, and you're in. So on the top of the screen, you'll see two columns. One that'll say "liked you" in conversations, followed by another column which are basically pictures of people you want to match with, and this is similar to a swipe left, swipe right type feature that Tinder became famous for. And as you scroll down, you'll see mutual suggestions based on events. So if there's a lot of events in your neighborhood or in your city that you're attending, you'll see any mutual events that both you and other folks that are part of Facebook dating are going to. You also have groups. So if there's any mutual groups that you're part of, clubs, hobbies, interest groups through Facebook, you'll also see any kind of connections of folks that are part of those groups. And towards the bottom, you'll see Secret Crush, which I'll discuss later in this video. Once I click on Conversations, this leads me to a screen of, my example, ladies that I've matched with and conversations that I'm actively having with them. If not, it'll just say I've matched with the following person. Going over to the Liked You button, the way that works is you just click on it and either you'll have a list of singles in the area and you could swipe left, swipe right, or you can hit the X icon if you're not interested in them, or hit the heart icon if you are interested in them. It's pretty easy. Now, one way that Facebook is taking advantage of its technology is through the Secret Crush feature. Now, I like this because you can go through friends list and select up to 8 people on your friends list that are your crushes, whether they know that or not. And at the same time, someone else out there could select you as their secret crush. So I like this feature because it's only limited to your mutual friends. It has nothing to do with the outside world of Facebook dating, even though it's connected to the portion of Facebook dating itself. So for example, let's say that you have a coworker that's on your Facebook friends list. You have no idea that he has a secret crush on you. They can select you as a secret crush. If you select them as well, then it'll be revealed that both of you have a crush on each other. So I think it's a pretty cool feature. Facebook's heading in the right direction doing this. It's something that does have a lot of potential. For me personally, it would be fun to have some sort of notification every now and then saying, here's some hints on who your crush might be. Because again, if you just put it out there that someone has a crush on you, but I'm sure it's meant to be revealed, and it's something where the person's going to want to be curious to reach out and find out who that crush is. If you don't send notification, this kind of becomes a moot point. But I do think that Facebook is heading in the right direction with this, so I would count that as an advantage. So one of the glaring disadvantages I saw when it came to using Facebook dating was the load time. If I messaged a user, it took a little bit longer compared to other popular dating apps like Tinder, Bumble, Hinge for me to receive a response. And also at the same time, when I would go to my chat message screen, what would end up happening is it would take maybe about 5 seconds for the messages to update themselves. So for example, if I messaged Linda, good afternoon, and she responded, when I went back to my chat messages, I would still see my message. I would wait about 5 or 10 seconds, and then I would see her message pop up. Now, it's competitive landscape out there, so this is something that Facebook dating is going to have to work on, especially as we have some users that may be impatient, maybe using Facebook dating as just a way to sort of distract themselves. Speed is going to count. Speed is going to make a huge difference in the user experience. So that's something that hopefully Facebook dating Facebook itself can improve on. One thing that I also consider a disadvantage when it comes to Facebook dating is the limited information. I mean, all you really get is their first name, where they're from, where they live, which is obvious if you're searching in your city, their education, and where they studied. Literally, just their educational level, occupation, and where they studied. There's not much about what they're looking for, any sort of physical characteristics, which, let's face it, some woman may be looking for a man of a certain height or body type. And if that's not detailed, it's just one of those things where you don't really have a fleshed out profile to go off of, other than, again, just really basic information and pictures. So to me, that is a huge glaring disadvantage. If you're going to use the power of Facebook and all the information provided, and you want an experience that rivals a Tinder, Bumble, or Hinge, or any of these other dating apps, you have to really set yourself apart. And with limited information, if they're going with the concept of, well, less is more, let's just get people to message. Again, that kind of ties into the other disadvantage of the speed of messaging. So I think Facebook needs to take advantage of the information and the data that's out there and find commonalities, build in algorithms. I mean, come on, Facebook, you guys are a huge company. Why don't you use compatibility algorithms just like the other dating apps do? And especially with the fact that users are liking certain types of music and events and sports teams. And it just makes perfect sense to take advantage of all that. So again, that's a downer. So what is the verdict? What do I think about Facebook dating? Do I recommend it to fellow clients as well as those that are listening to this video? The answer is no. I do not recommend it for a couple of reasons. It does take up a lot of battery power. That's one thing that I immediately noticed is how much resources off your phone it uses. I also think that with Facebook is a place to keep up with friends and family, watch some videos, keep up to date with some news, the real news that is, not fake news. And I think what ends up happening is you don't want to combine the experience of dating with Facebook. It kind of, again, muddles the social media experience. And on top of that, it just doesn't have enough features to stay competitive. If this Facebook dating app was its own standalone app, it would seem a little bit outdated and slow. And also, I believe that the approach is more for people to use it that are just bored, just want a little bit more of that instant gratification, which I understand a lot of the dating apps are like that. But I feel like with Facebook dating, it just seems like it's just another human game on Facebook instead of an actual dating app where you can meet someone that you might be interested in. With its limited features, lack of algorithms other than common groups and common interest, which again are through Facebook itself, I don't see why you should spend as much time on this compared to a Tinder, Bumble, Hinge, Happen, or any other app out there. So if you're going to use Facebook dating, just keep in mind that there are better apps out there. And Facebook, this is not your forte. This is like Google trying to enter your space of social media, and they failed miserably with Google+. So I recommend that Facebook, you have to roll out a lot more features. You're going to have to make this a fast portion of the Facebook experience. If not, it'll just be a dead project. It would be something that'll be short-lived. And, who knows? From there, might have Google try to take over, which that might be scary. But that's a whole nother subject there. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like and subscribe. This is very much a grassroots project. I have a passion for the dating industry and as well as helping people connect better. If you're interested in booking a session with me, my contact information is below. This is Chris, the Dating Doc, signing off, and thank you for being a valued viewer. Take care.